What's up, America? It's your boy Alexis Maurice. It is Wednesday, November the 7th, and my President Barack Obama, is back. He is back in office for a second term. Congratulations, President Obama, for winning the election 2012. A lot of people were happy. Just looking at the TV last night, talking with people today. Everybody is so excited that President Obama won again for the second term. Now, a lot of y'all are pissed off because Mitt Romney didn't win the election as well. Oh well, sorry for you. Get over it. President Obama won fair and square. So we just got to go forward. Yesterday was very, very exciting. Left here about 5:30 in the morning to go down to Columbia to vote. Got there around 6:30, 6:45-ish. Had to wait in line for the polls to actually officially open. One thing I like about voting is kind of going back home and standing in line in the polls and just hearing all the different people talking, telling different stories and, why they're voting for President Obama and things of that particular nature. I like to see where, their mothers and fathers kind of bring their kids down to the precinct and, let them see, stand in line and let them see them cast their votes and, making sure that they understand and explain why and things of that particular. I really like that. I really, really like that. One thing that stuck out for me the most this year was when I went back home to vote, there was a lot of old people. There were a lot of old people that was in line. And one thing I can say, guys, a lot of people from our younger generation, sometimes we don't give a damn about voting, and it's actually sad. But, when we look at our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers, they, hell or high water, they're going to get up and vote. There were a lot of people in my precinct, a lot of elderly people with walkers, wheelchairs. Some of them had to be, walked in. Some of them had canes. Hell or high water, those people are going to get up and vote. And if they can get up and vote, body aching, didn't have a ride sometimes, they can get up and vote, man, we can get out and vote as well. So for, all y'all slackers out there that, you're not registered to vote, do better. Our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers and grandfathers, they protested, protest after protest. It was sit-in after sit-in. Some places fire hose beat, just so we can have that right to vote. And a lot of us take it for granted, man. So many people this election, I heard, I'm not voting, at all. I'm not voting for President Obama. I'm not voting for Governor Romney. I don't like neither one of them, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so have you done your research? Have you, taken the opportunity to, to look at the issues and stuff like that? It's just an overall apathy, among people when it came to voting. But in spite of all of that, people did get out and vote. A lot of the, the younger generation, a lot of people felt that Obama wasn't going to win the election because they didn't feel that he necessarily had the young vote. But the young college graduates or the people who were in college, they got registered. And they didn't talk a lot during the whole campaigning process, but they shut up and they came out and they voted. And that's one of the reasons, why President Obama, won the election. So, for all of you guys who are out there, you're not registered to vote, do better. Go ahead, register. Next go round when the presidential election comes up, or even on your local elections, do your research, man. Know what's going on. Know the issues. A lot of people in college, I'm not voting because none of that stuff has to do with me. If you get a Pell Grant, it has something to do with you. It has something to do with you. So, just remember that stuff, man. There were a lot of long lines in South Carolina. I was just reading some Facebook posts and things of that particular nature. They had people standing in line for like 5 hours and 6 hours, and it was polls closed at 7 o'clock in South Carolina, and there were people still in line around 10 o'clock, just waiting, to vote. Looking on Twitter, people were, encouraging everybody, if you were still in line, to stay in line and things of that particular nature. So it was a beautiful thing, man, just to see, the turnout and the people getting out and voting and, things of that particular nature. When I was standing in line, waiting to vote, one of the poll managers came and got the machine and he took it out. I was like, oh God, what's going on? Why are they taking the machine out? So after I, cast my ballot and I was going outside, I found out the reason that the poll manager took it is because there was an elderly lady sitting in the car. She had to be all of maybe 90 years old, guys, or even 95. She couldn't get out the car because she was a little old. They took the machine and they took it out to her, and the old lady was voting in the car. Curbside service, she was voting. Now, like I said, if people can get up, handicapped, wheelchairs, canes, walkers, if they can get up and still vote in 2012, there is no excuse why, some of us can't get out and get up and vote. That really touched my heart. It actually almost brought me to tears when I walked outside and just seeing that image of that lady casting her ballot right there, and her daughter, kind of helping her, what to do, walking her through it. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. I really wanted to take a picture, but I didn't want to offend anybody or, have any misconceptions or anything of that nature. Speaking of pictures, so after I cast my vote, I'm on my way back. And, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm seeing all these posts. People putting the same picture up. President Obama is already behind in the polls 3% because people are taking pictures of their, taking pictures of their vote, the ballot and stuff like that. Now, I appreciate people, calling that out because, believe it or not, there are some states like North Carolina that strictly prohibits you having a camera and taking pictures. But to say at 12 and 1 o'clock that President Obama was behind the polls 3% because people were taking pictures, you tell me what news channel or what news organization was already receiving, notifications about, vote tallies and things of that particular nature. Nobody had even reported anything. The polls hadn't even been open for half a day, and people are already lying. And the bad thing about it was, one of the posts on Instagram stated that, President Obama was already behind. They misspelled the word already. They spelled it ALL space READY. And the bad thing about it was everybody just kept posting it. People, know your state laws and know your state regulations. Like I said, there are some places that do prohibit the use of camera devices, but there are other places that don't. If somebody want to take a damn picture of the the ballot that they cast, so what? Nobody can do anything about that. People were talking about it's a felony and da 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 da. No, it's not. It's a state regulation. Voting, when it comes to voting, it's a state by state type thing. So, just like I said, it was a good call out, but people really took it, beyond. They just took it and ran with it. And a lot of you guys were looking stupid as hell, posting that picture up with misspelled words. You have to understand the political machine. People say and do anything to try to discourage people from doing anything. If you got pride in who you voted for and you want to show the world who you voted for, just make sure you know what state you're in. Make sure your vote gets counted, and that you don't get fined or something of that particular nature. But before y'all take stuff to Twitter and before you take stuff to the social networking, know what the hell you talking about before you actually do stuff like that. Later on in the evening, came home and started cooking. I'm watching, the coverage. I would have to say, guys, CNN did a great job on last night, with the political, with the election coverage. It was awesome. One of the funniest things about the night was the projection music that CNN played every time they have a projection. Wolf would say, "We have a updated projection, and we're making it right now." Dun dun dun. It would break, to a little political projection thing, and then he would come back and say, "President Obama has taken, the state of Wisconsin. Governor Romney has taken." Hell, Governor Romney took all the Confederate states, all down south or whatever. But, the projection thing was actually pretty funny or whatever. And my girl Candy Cohen, she was over at Governor Romney's camp, covering everything there. At one particular point, once CNN went ahead and declared that President Obama was going to be the president, we were waiting for Mitt Romney to give his concession speech, and Candy came on and she said, I'm here in the Romney camp, and we're waiting for Governor Romney to give his concession speech. We've reached out to one of the Romney correspondents, and we've asked them, what is he doing? What is he waiting on? Why hasn't he came out and, gave his concession speech? And the way Candy said it was so damn funny. She was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is he waiting on? President Obama has already won the election, so that was funny. Correspondent John King did a great job too. He was on his little smart board, with all the states, and he was changing colors here, and this was a swing state here. We're going to give New York to President Obama, and this. It was actually pretty good. Once they called the election again, he was also like, I'm not sure what Governor Romney is waiting on to go ahead and concede. He was like, well, hypothetically speaking, let's say that, what was it? Let's say that Ohio turns Republican. And let's say that Florida, which we know it's not going to happen, but, for some strange reason, it turns Republican. And let's say, Virginia, Romney wins Virginia as well. He said, regardless if he gets those states or not, he's still not going to win. He's still not going to have enough of the electoral college votes to actually win. So he was kind of, saying it over and over again. Come on, guys, Governor Romney, go ahead and concede. Let's go ahead and move forward. Obama got this thing. And then the bad thing about it was Florida. Every election, there's always some mess with Florida. Every damn election. They really need to get it together. They really, really do. With the long polls and not enough, with the long lines and not enough, voting machines. And this time, I was reading that, something with the absentee ballots, they weren't scanning in the machines, so they had to have the volunteers kind of go back or the poll officials go back and rebubble some things or change some things. It's ridiculous. Every election after, y'all need to get y'all shit together down there in Florida, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. President Obama even said it when he was giving his acceptance speech, that, we need to make some changes. But, truth be told, voting is a state thing. So I don't know how much the federal government can do he might can lead the pack and try to change some stuff. I don't know how he's going to do it. But John King, man, you did an awesome job last night. Awesome job. You kept it real as well. In other news, people were saying that Diane Sawyer was hitting the bottle, or she was having some kind of medications or something when she was, doing covering the election over on ABC. Honey, Diane, girl, if you wanted to drink a shot of Patron, if you want to drink some Chardonnay, I don't give a damn what you was drinking. I would have joined you, at that particular point in time too. But girl, you was looking a little toasted, just a little bit. You looked like you was a little gone. I don't know if you was, you had took some pills, or you was tired from all the coverage, with Hurricane Sandy. I don't know what it was, but looked like you was up under the influence of something. That I was reading some stuff about that, last night. One thing I can say about the CNN anchors is that, as long as I watch CNN and, watching it through the whole campaign process, you can never really tell what sometimes you can't tell what the anchors or the correspondents, their party affiliations. Sometimes it's obvious that some of them are Republicans, and then sometimes you can't tell if they're Democrat. For the most part, they do a pretty good job kind of masking who they support or what their party affiliation, but sometimes they can't mask it. It just, clearly comes through. But like I said, CNN did a really, really good job covering that damn Jessica yelling. I don't know what was wrong with her. She was, help her, nothing. She was like she was talking from her nose, like she has a real bad sinus infection or some shit like that. Y'all need to fire her ass. Get somebody else, because her voice was just irritating as hell last night. When after the election, they called it President Obama won the election. People took to Twitter, and everybody took to Twitter and Facebook. My president is black. My president is black. People, for one, I love my people. I really, really do love my people. But please stop with this "my president is black" stuff. That's old. President, Obama's race was called, his ethnicity was called. disrespectfully called into question several times during, his 4 years in office, and we continue to encourage that. So, lay off the whole "my president is black." We know President Obama is black. He ain't changing colors no time soon. So, let's just move past that and let's come up with some kind of new slogan. "My president is back," or "My president's black and he's back," or something of that nature. That message just getting old. I pissed some people off yesterday, putting up a post, but oh well, they'll get over it. But all in all, man, yesterday was awesome. I'm just glad to see that, President Obama is back in office for a second term. He has a long road ahead of him, though, guys. So we definitely have to keep President Obama in our prayers, keep him lifted up. He's dealing with the House of Representatives that's Republican, and he's dealing with the Senate that's Democrat. Even some of his Democratic, partners are not too happy and not too thrilled with him as well. So when you look at the actual map of the United States as well, it's a lot of red there. Most of the votes are in the urban areas where, it's highly, populated and things of that nature. But when you look at the states and things like that, there's a lot of red states. So this was a real close race, man. I mean, I can honestly say that the country is really divided. So, President Obama is really going to have to work on bringing the country back together, tapping into, some things to get people, back on board with him and his agendas and get him on his ticket and things of that particular nature. So he got a long road ahead, but I'm glad to see that he's back in office. I'm proud of President Obama. And, one thing I can encourage everybody is the election is over now. Don't lose focus. Don't just throw this, now the election is over, everything is over and done when you get back to your regular lives. Stay informed. Stay up to date with what's going on. Because, President Obama is really going to need our support. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to be out there attacking him and things of that particular nature. And we got to make sure that we are informed on the issues and that we know what, the agendas and the things that he's trying to push. So that's my election recap. But I guess I'll holler at you people later on. Peace.